Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be sharing 3 key points for feeling good in your life, like right now. This is a part of a video series called the Feel Good Project, where I'm sharing insights, inspiration, and information to support you in feeling good in your life. Stuff that's actually going to move the needle. We all want to feel good, right? We all want to feel good in our lives. And I think it's elusive for many of us. I know definitely for me, for a big chunk of my life, it was like I could never really get there. I could never really get into this place of feeling genuinely and authentically good in multiple spheres of life. So I'm gonna, over the course of these videos, share about that experience and how you can apply it in your own life. Practicality is really important to me. So my intention is to give you practical action items, steps that you can take immediately, or perspective shifts, things that are actually going to have an impact on how you feel in your day to day and how you show up to that conversation, to that experience. So, feeling good is something that we all want, but we don't really know how to accomplish it, right? Like this has been my experience. Often we're pursuing things that we think will make us feel good. We've been told it will make us feel good, but whether or not that actually lands is sort of hit or miss. So, what happened for me was that I climbed the ladder of the hospitality industry, right? And I thought that this would give me that sensation of success, that sensation of feeling satisfied and fulfilled. But I ended up feeling burnt out, exhausted, and deeply sad. So, over the course of this video, I want to share, like I said, those 3 key points for feeling good in your life, like right now. How do we do it? And so, the first one is to get clear on your definition of success. What does it look like? What does it feel like for you? So if we use the example from my own life where I was, at the top tier in my hospitality career in that industry, one of the things that was a requirement of that was that I work between 50 and 55 hours a week. And the path to success that I had been shown, modeled, the thing that was expected of me was this path, right? Like a management position where I had insurance and benefits and was, in charge of other people. Like there's an element of that to it, right? Like this idea that if we are leading others, then that means we feel good in our lives and are leading ourselves. But what I found out is that that wasn't true. And working 50 to 55 hours a week required that I take time away from my young son at the time. And so I saw him very little in relationship to how much I cared about him and how important he was to me. And I realized that he was getting a very worn out, tired version of me. And my job was getting like the the juice of me, right? Like my creativity, all of my energy, me at my best. And my son was getting none of that. And so this experience required me to observe some things, to make some challenging decisions, and really look at what success meant to me. And at the time, well, it's still true, but at the time, success meant being able to spend quality time with my son. right? It was like if I'm just working, 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 and I don't actually get to enjoy the life that I say I want, how does that fit? Like it didn't make sense to me. And so being able to identify that as a metric of success for myself is one of the big catalysts that caused me to make changes in my life. And now I function 100% on my own schedule, 100% on my own rhythm. My schedule, my time, and how I release my energy is completely my own. So I wake up when I want to wake up. I go to sleep when I want to go to sleep. I work when I want to work. I spend time with my children when I want to spend time with my children or when it's required, like when they need me to show up for something, an event that they have or school. And it just gives me this feeling of deep accomplishment and pride. I'm really proud of that. And the sensation of alignment, being in alignment with my values. And that path, was not all like rainbows and roses. There were some really challenging points along the way of choosing, like this is what success means to me, and this is how I'm going to show up to participate in that. So what is it for you? Um, what does success mean to you? What does satisfaction mean to you? How does it feel in your system? And maybe even looking around your life right now at what feels challenging, and then using that as a way to reverse engineer what success feels like for you. And recognizing that it is your particular flavor. Your definition of success is unique to you and your life path and your values, and even linked to the suffering that you've had in your life, the challenges that you've had, and also your greatness, like where you're going and what you see for yourself. Those things are all intimately linked together, and it can be really enlightening to shine awareness on, okay, what actually does success mean to me? So that's our first key point in feeling good. The second one is to look through the deathbed lens. So if we knew that tomorrow would be our last day on earth, we would be having a very different experience of this moment. Like if tomorrow it was all going to end, most of us would spend today differently than we are. And that's important because none of us know how much time we have, right? Life is finite. And I think we do our best to avoid that truth or think that, we'll worry about it later, we'll address it later, but really every day that we're alive is preparing us for the kind of death that we're going to have. And so the deathbed lens is about looking at your experience from that perspective. Like when it's all said and done, right? Like you're on the threshold, getting ready to cross over, your time on earth is complete. What do you want to look back and see? And I promise it's not like, I'm glad that I worried so much. I'm glad that I worked so much on someone else's dream. These are not things that are going to be fulfilling in that moment. They're actually going to be really deep regrets. And the number one regret of people on their deathbed is that they wish that they had had the courage to live a life true to themselves rather than the life that other people expected of them. So, this is recognizing that feeling good in your life, feeling fulfilled, satisfied, successful, inspired, is going to be intimately linked to what's meaningful to you. So, really considering there's a great exercise that's if I had 8 minutes left to live, right? Like, if you can just mentally kind of put yourself there, like, okay, life is done, all of my time is used up. What feels unfinished? What feels like there's still yet to do, yet to participate in, yet to be, right? Like having an experience of our own energy and our own expression is really underrated. Like there's so much value in looking in the mirror and liking who we see. So what would that be for you? That's our second key point for feeling good, like right now, looking through the deathbed lens and really sinking into the appreciation of your life and your body that is a temple and the experience that you get to have here, and then showing up for that. The last one, our final key point for feeling good in your life, like right now, is to adopt the perspective that we're here for all of it. We're here for all of it. We're here for the full ride. I'm pretty sure it's Wayne Dyer who said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right? And it's cliche and sometimes frustrating, but so true. And the invitation is to respect that truth, to honor it. And it's not that we are bad or wrong for the perspectives that we have. I know it can feel like that for me sometimes, right? Where it's like, well, yeah, if I just change the way I look at it, then everything will, then it'll be fine. And then I don't get to be mad anymore. Like there's a few different threads that can come up around that. But if we are desiring to feel good in our lives, then we have a responsibility to participate in that. And if we only allow ourselves to feel good when things are going our way, or when there's a perfect combination of conditions, we severely limit our ability and we severely limit our experience. Is this landing? So at any given moment, life is a collection of things we want and a collection of things we don't want, right? A collection of things we feel good about and a collection of things that we feel not so good about. And so if we are basing how we feel off of the ratio of that collection, we're always just going to be, blowing around in the wind, a victim of circumstance, a victim of our conditions, external conditions, which we have no control over. So instead of compartmentalizing our experience and saying, I'll feel good when this exactly is occurring, and the rest of the time I'll stress, I'll worry, I'll be in doubt and fear and insecurity. Instead of doing that, we say, I'm here for all of it. I'm here for the ride of life. And I'm inspired by it. I'm available for it, right? So, aliveness, feeling alive in our bodies, aliveness as a sensation, doesn't mean everything is going the way that we want it to. Crazy, I know. Aliveness, feeling alive in our bodies, experiencing the sensation of aliveness doesn't mean everything is going the way that we want it to. It also doesn't mean that we are only basking in awe and wonder and love and gratitude, even though those are really beautiful states and do count as feeling alive. Aliveness means that we can feel the fullness of life moving through us. The fullness of life moving through us. So maybe in the moment that's profound grief or intense despair or ugly crying, whatever it is, instead of categorizing it as it's good or bad, it's going the way I want it to, or it's not going the way that I want it to, we say we are here for all of it. We're here for all of life. We're here for all of ourselves. We're here for the ride, wherever it is. And we participate in it. We participate in the aliveness. And this frees up so much energy because then we can, even when things aren't going our way, find the silver lining. Even when things aren't going our way, we can have still an undercurrent and running parallel to that experience, like deep appreciation, right? We can see the forest through the trees and enjoy the fullness of our life experience. Okay. 3 key points for feeling good in your life, like right now. The first one is get clear on your definition of success. What's it mean for you? What's it look like? What's it feel like? The second one is look through a deathbed lens. Put it in perspective. And the last one is be here for all of it. That is what I have for you in this video. I hope that is supportive. Please let me know in the comments one thing that landed for you, and I will see you next time for the Feel Good Project.